We've waited a long, arduous 7 years, but finally we can say Johann Zarco is a MotoGP winner. And it's the 1 week I didn't have him down as my prediction. And boy, am I angry about that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 33. This is the Big Bad Bike Show. I'm your host, one of your co-hosts, the Big Bad Biker, Sam Macaulay. And joining me as always is the Up North Biker, Ash Hall.
Hello there.
And returning to the podcast after a 3-week break, practically because he couldn't be asked to show up, but he's here tonight. Almost feels like we have a guest on the show. He's here. It's Moto Chippy, Chippy Ballard.
Hello.
It's about time, isn't it?
There.
That's been a while.
It's been a while. And last week, why did you not turn up? Just couldn't be bothered.
Because I was at work.
I'd work the next day.
No, you weren't at work. You had finished work. You had been working, you finished, then you were during your sort of downtime that we all would be in, and then the following day you were going to work, and you just thought, well, I'm tired, so I'm not going to come to the podcast. That was it.
Well, I'd worked a 12-hour shift, and then I had 12 hours off, and then I had another 12-hour shift. I've got to have some downtime in there.
Look, this is passion. This is a hobby. This is chilling out. This is a hobby.
This is not chilling out. This revs me up.
This is coming with your friends, having a bit of a chat. This is supposed to be downtime.
Coming with your friends.
Our podcast can't be hanging on the balance for you to have days off work. Just can't be working like that. Can't just be hanging on the balance. Oh, Chippy's got work in 3 days' time, so therefore he can't do the podcast tonight. Sorry, guys.
Well, hang on. I do a full-time job. You don't work, and Ash works part-time. I'm the only one.
I'm not working at the minute, but as we'll come to it in my catch-up, I am in the middle of moving house. I am still pretty busy. I'm driving
that's something
3 hours
else. I've moved house as well. Just chuck that in there as well as working.
You've moved house. No,
yes, I've moved
we've
house.
moved house. Technically,
but I did the majority of the work.
Right, let's get our.
That's a fake laugh, by the way.
Let's get our husbandry, or whatever it is called, out of the way first. Our housekeeping. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening on YouTube, please hit like, subscribe. You can hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss a podcast or a video when it comes out. And if you're on Spotify or Apple or Google or whatever, you can leave a rating, give us 5 stars, tell us how much you love us. And if you want to send us an email, you can get in contact at podcast@bigbadbs.co.uk, or you can join our Discord. Wherever you're listening, it'll be in the description. Do you want to tell us what's coming up on the show, Ash?
Yes, coming up on
Apart
the
from
show.
us bickering the whole time.
Yeah, is the all-new Who Am I? This week it is mine. The Australian MotoGP at Phillip Island, and our predictions for MotoGP and World Superbikes this weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
And as always, there'll probably be timestamps. And ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people that listen to the podcast, they only like to listen to the start of it. And then once they get into the bikes, they think, well, I've already know what's happening because the pundits have told me, or I've listened to a podcast where they actually know what they're talking about. So I don't need to listen to these guys. Well, if there's 1 week where you want to keep listening, this is probably that week, because there might not be a lot of actual bike talk on this episode. It'll be revolving around bikes, but it might not be actual bike talk. So if you like the banter, this is maybe the episode to listen a little longer.
Yes.
Let's have a little bit of a catch up. What have you been up to, Chippy? Apart from in a 3-week hiatus where you've been working like most other people, but you can't manage to come on the podcast.
I have been working, and I've also been moving house, as I've said. This is actually the first episode I've done from the new house. It took a bit longer to get set up tonight because I need to work out where to sit.
Yeah, but the thing is,
you
said
nice.
No. You said you've moved house and you did most of the work. You know that sort of bollocks. I did most of the work.
Some assistance from you.
I did most of the work.
I wouldn't say most of it.
I put you a roof. I put a floor in your roof. In your loft foyer.
You put a floor in your roof.
You know what I mean?
Put a floor in your roof.
Floor in the loft foyer. I fitted you a loft ladder.
Put a floor in your roof.
Yeah, floor in the roof. I fitted him a loft ladder. I fitted all his curtain poles, all his curtain tie backs. I put together all his furniture. He didn't even know how to put his bed together. It was ridiculous.
He did my washing
I know
machine,
you
my
kept-
Oh, I
dishwasher.
put your washing machine in, plumbed in your dishwasher. Or what else did I do?
And you kept sending messages before you were moving house about, oh, how do I take my sofa apart? Because
Yeah.
I didn't watch the men put it together because I was hiding in the kitchen. You're such a loser.
Oh, and
Yes.
he's got a list as long as my leg of other things for me to do.
We've got a room full of stuff that you need to put up on the walls.
And apparently
We've got
he's
stuff on the
moved
way.
house. He's moved house.
And we've got a
now.
shed on the way as well.
Best of it is you have a floor on your roof.
Yes.
That's great. I've never heard of one of them before. You've got a
Yes.
floor on your roof. That's the best.
Well, technically
Yes.
he does.
So what?
I've
So
got
apart from watching Ash move, helping or watching Ash move in your house for you, what else have you been up to?
I've made my most successful ever meme, which was about it was when the British Superbikes finished. I made a meme, put it in the chat, and I'm still getting notifications every time I go on Facebook
Yeah.
saying so and so's
Did,
like meme. It's 1.3 thousand people now. Or
Did
1,300.
did you put it on the Big Bad Bike Show page to maybe get some publicity
I
for all
did
this
it-
hard work that we do week in, week out?
I did it from my own personal account, so I got
Oh,
the credit
did it
for
from
it.
his
That's
own
helpful.
personal account.
That's helpful, isn't it?
Doesn't turn up to podcasts and just does things to suit himself and help himself.
And he has the
thanks.
audacity to say, I do fuck all.
You do.
I turn up to the podcast and I promote the podcast. You did it off your
Because
own
you've got nothing
personal
else
thing.
to do in your life.
So?
This podcast is your life.
Oh, well.
This podcast is my life.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, it's definitely
starting,
Sam's life.
it's starting to take a dark turn in my mental health.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
What have you been up? What have you been up to, Ash?
Well, I finally put a video together, a short video on my bike trip around Scotland onto YouTube. So,
It was very short.
and if anybody wants to watch it, they can do. Well, the thing is, I was going to make it like 15, 20 minutes long. And then I thought to myself, people aren't going to sit there and watch it for 15 to 20 minutes. They're not. I figured if I make it a short,
No, and
then
they won't sit there for 15, 20 minutes and watching it unless you put in like little sections where you interact a little bit and talk and change it up.
Well-
But to be honest, I think it was a good length. I had a few beers the other night and I went to bed and I thought I'll just watch this video, and if truth be told, the nice background music and just watching the bike go round corners, and it might have been the 4 or 5 beers I had as well, but I fell asleep.
there you go. See, if it'd been 15
No, it
minutes
wasn't.
long, you would have still fell asleep.
I would still fell asleep. I think it's a good length. I do think it's a good length. But what Ash did was he kept sending messages saying, "Do you think I should do this or just leave it?" And like I was like, "I think you should do this." Ah, okay. And then he left it. And then he would send another message. "I've done this, and I think maybe this would be better. What do you think?" And I goes, "Yeah, that would be better." And then he didn't do it. And I was like, "Why are you even asking? You know, you're just going to upload it the way it is
Well, no,
anyway."
because I thought,
But yeah, I think it,
if it works and it's successful, then I'll keep it up, and if it's not, then I'll take it off and I'll put a longer one on. That was my idea.
I think it's all right. I think it's all right.
Yeah. Chippy hasn't watched it. He watched
Me
about
personally,
20 seconds.
Me personally, I think just a little intro at the start. Hello, we're a podcast. Listen to us. I am here. Blah blah blah. Just a little bit of context, but it's your video. You do what you want.
Did you get a name for it in the end?
Yeah, 500-mile road trip around Scotland.
That's what you call
See,
it.
as soon as you,
Yeah.
but that's clickbait that, because as soon
It
as you
is.
say 500 on Scotland, people see it and they think what is it? The NC 500?
No, it wasn't.
Or
the
they think of the
NC
Proclaimers.
No, it's not the NC 500, but people might think it is.
I know, that's what I mean. It's clickbait. 500 Scotland. People are like, oh, I'll go to watch this and see some nice NC 500.
Yeah,
And no,
and then guess what?
no.
Then they'll be like, oh, they do a podcast. Oh, I'll listen to that. Oh, yeah,
No, they won't, because you didn't say anything in your video to tell them that we do a podcast.
I did. I put the logo at the start.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So car went in for an MOT check, and the guy just kind of came out to me with a post-it note with all this stuff written on it, and I was like, right. So what's it need? He was like, 2 rear shock absorbers, 2 rear springs, 2 front arms, 1 track rod end, 4 new tires. I was like,
But apart from that, it's all right.
yeah, and I was like, "Can you get me a price?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I left it a day, and he came back with like 1,200 quid, I think it was. So
How much is a car worth?
Well, I paid 650 quid for it last year.
Jesus.
So I'm gonna. We buying a car will give me £600 for it. So I'm gonna go give it to them, and I've got a different vehicle coming.
What vehicle have you got?
Well, a Citroen C3 Picasso,
Jesus Christ.
1.6 turbo diesel.
We buy any car, say they're going to give you money, and then you take it down there and they start scrutinising it and they see tiny little dents. And
They
they're
do.
Like, oh, I hate to knock money out
They
for
do.
that. Meh.
But my Nissan X-Trail that I bought for like 700 quid, they gave me £500 for that, and it was absolutely knackered. And
never
other than
used
that, I accidentally upset Chippy this weekend.
Yes.
Which people
I'm
may
not forgiving you for
see.
this.
Well, you kind of have to, because you need me to put all the stuff on your wall, and you need me to put your
Well, no,
shed
the
up.
thing is, after we moved out, you came round to the old house, and I gave you a free TV, a 40-inch TV that's perfectly fine. You had loads of like bird feeders. You had so much gardening stuff.
Hold on a minute. Hang on.
And I didn't charge you anything for it. I said, have that.
Hang on. Right. You were going to throw it in the bin.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you
I'd
were.
have sold that. I was going to sell it.
You told me you were going to... You said, go in the garden. I'm throwing all this out. If you want anything, take it. That is
And
what
I
you said.
took it and probably tried to sell it.
Yeah, you
No,
probably
it's,
did.
it's
Sort of
currently sat in my
pikey.
garden. Sat in the garden feeding the birds.
What happened to that TV?
That's... Harley's got that.
Ah.
I've nicked his telly because it's a bit better. For my dock screen. Anyway, yes, I upset Chippy because I accidentally gave him the race winner before he finished watching the race, which was Sam's fault, really. But
It's not Sam's fault.
well,
Not my fault.
it is
Not my
It is
fault at
really.
all.
It is.
We have a
And-
sacred
and
rule
you-
in our chat.
And you going to tell all your friends, you're like, oh, please come on to our Facebook group and defend me.
Yeah, defend me.
That's totally what you're doing.
Yeah, defend me.
Defend the indefensible. You just gave it away in the
No,
group chat.
you are partly to blame on this, Sam. I'm afraid.
No, I'm not partly
You
to
are.
blame. What happened?
No.
Right. So for the listeners, let me explain. What happened was, I can tie this into my catch up as well. So I went to Butlins this weekend. Nice little relaxing holiday to Butlins, as relaxing as it can get in Butlins. If you've been to Butlins, you know.
Never been.
I love it there. It's actually quite fun. I do enjoy it. We're in Skegness. You can proper let your hair down. You can just relax. It's either there or Bognor Regis, where you can just relax. You don't hate. It feels like being at your local pub. You just let the kids run feral. You have a few beers.
Get
while
robbed, you know.
Some. Well, I've never been robbed, no. But yeah, you can have. I think you can have a real relaxing time there as far as you can. But I got up really early in the morning, as I assumed Ash and Chippy would do, to watch the race because it was in Australia, so it was obviously going to be early. And lo and behold, Johan Zarco won a race, and I was skipping up and down the apartment that I was in, trying my best to be really quiet because my wife was still in bed, my kids were still in bed. I was surrounded by other guests and Butlins. I was biting my fist, I was punching the air with different hands. Obviously, I would punch my face, and I thought, I know, we host a motorcycle podcast about motorbike racing, and we've got social media. Now, Ash, you're shaking your head, but every week there's a race, whether it be British Superbikes, World Superbikes, or MotoGP. I'm always posting on Twitter. As soon as if somebody crashes, I post it on Twitter. If somebody wins a race, I post it on
I'm
Twitter.
not on Twitter.
And the reason I don't do Facebook is because it takes up a lot of time when you're trying to do that and watch the race. But Johan Zarco just won a race, and I thought this one deserves all my attention. So I put it on my Instagram, I put it on Facebook. Now, folks, this is what happened. The race is in Australia, meaning it's the early morning. It started at like about 5:30, so it finished around 6:30. At about 7 o'clock, I put it on Facebook. And I'm paraphrasing, but this is Ash's own words. He said at about 7 o'clock in the morning, he got a notification on his phone that it said, "Oh, Sam's put something in the Big Bad Bike Show
Yeah.
page. I wonder what that could be." Remembering
Yes.
that you knew full well that the race had just finished.
Yeah, but you have never, not once on that page, put a bike result on. You have never done that. None of us have.
No, you had Zarco's never won a race before.
So
That's why.
Don't put it on Facebook.
No, we have social media pages for that reason.
Oh, God.
That if you go onto Facebook, there is about a dozen different pages.
And I'm not on them. I'm not on them for that reason.
Why not?
For that reason.
Why not?
So I can't see the
so
result.
Where'd you get your motorbike news from then?
Well, I don't.
Us.
I was gonna watch it. I was gonna watch it.
It's from us. From us. You get your news from us. You don't do any research. You don't do any. You don't follow anybody else.
No,
You just wait for us to tell you, and then whenever we do tell you, oh, you told me the result. You shouldn't have.
Right. From my point of view, okay, I was going to watch the
which is
race.
wrong.
I had family up at the weekend, so I was thinking, right, I'll catch up with the bikes after because I've got family here. So then, obviously,
They'd have been in
I
bed.
wake up. No, you had your 50 pence. Shut the fuck up. It's my turn, right? So I obviously open my phone up on the morning, as you do, as everybody does who has social media. Oh, there's a notification here on the Big Bad Bike Show. Considering we've never had a result posted on there, I thought, well, Sam's obviously just put something random up like he does. Maybe it was another Sam meme that I could have giggled at. But no, it was, fucking hell, Zarco's won the race. Great. Cheers, Sam. And obviously, in that anger, Chippy had already said, oh, I'm so many laps through, I think he said. And then for some reason in my head, I was so angry. And I thought, well, Chippy's finished watching the race.
You
I was
thought
like,
you'd read Chippy's day too.
I thought he'd finished at this point. And I thought, oh, and then I'll just put, oh, well, as if you put the fucking race result of Zarco winning on the Facebook page, and then Chippy's put, that better be a joke. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, no. I was like, oh, my God, what have I just done? And I honestly, in that moment, I felt so bad. I felt really, really bad.
How do you think I felt whenever you got the result on Facebook? I'll tell you how I felt. That fucking stupid wanker's gone on social media when he's not watched the race. You don't do that. You don't do that,
Ash.
Right.
If you haven't watched the race and you want
You're only doing this. You're only agreeing with Sam because it's pissing you off.
If there's a race been on and I haven't seen it yet, I actually delete Facebook and Twitter apps so I don't accidentally go on there.
But
and then somebody messages me and says,
if we'd had the discussion, right, from now on, we're going to put the race result straight away on Facebook. We're going to put it straight away on Facebook. I would have stayed away from it. But we've never, ever done that once. I've got to have some defence here.
Yeah, you can have a defence. It's just a bad one.
It's
because
not.
if you're watching a boxing match, or if you're watching a football game, or if you're watching a motorbike race, or if you're watching, or like you like Star Wars, if there's a new Star Wars movie comes out, or like a new Avengers movie or anything, we'll come to that in a bit, Chippy. If you're watching any of that stuff, you're watching any of that, and you don't want to know the result or the ending, you stay off social media.
Well,
you do, Ash.
I agree.
That's whole we've never posted that. We've never posted that. I get that, but you do understand that we are a motorcycle race. Fundamentally, a motorcycle
so out
race
of the norm for us. That's not the.
And we're all Zarco fans.
I know, and I was just as pissed off as you were, Chippy.
Well, you should have watched the race when it was on.
Well, maybe I was sleeping because I had a late night and I had family here. Sorry that my life just doesn't revolve around MotoGP.
It doesn't?
Well, kind of. But I was going to watch them all in a one. Anyway, right. I'm very sorry, Chippy. I am to blame for you finding out. But
you're not sorry.
You're not sorry.
Partly to blame.
No, Chippy, before we go any further, I have a little bone to pick with you, and this is to be on Ash's side now. If you remember a few years ago, whenever we were all living in Cyprus,
I know what's coming.
We were all looking forward to a movie coming out. Now we are all geeks in a certain way. Chippy thinks he's not, but he is. So we were all looking forward to a movie, and that movie was Avengers Endgame. And yes, it's a bit of a childish movie. You can say it is or not.
Can I just say I've got no interest in this film. I've no interest in superhero films.
Yeah. You have no interest in it, but that doesn't mean you have to go and tell everybody. No, I don't really care, but it doesn't mean you have to go and tell everybody that Tony Stark died at the end. Whenever you figured that out,
oh
you
shit!
told everybody on the group chat. He forgot about that. Ash forgot about that, didn't he? He told everybody Tony Stark died at the end. And to be honest, we all knew there was going to be a moment.
I completely
And we
forgot
kind of hooted
about
from
that.
that, anyway.
Yeah, there you are. You ruined freaking Endgame for me, you little dweeb.
And I know Johan Zarco was 7 years, but how long were we waiting for Endgame from the very first Iron Man movie to Endgame?
2008 Iron Man was made. 2008, Chippy.
That's like...
But I don't feel guilty for ruining
years.
it for you now.
Well, to be honest, I feel like... Yeah, I don't feel bad at all now.
Did you just fart?
No, I went...
No, there was definitely a fart come out
No,
there.
it's
sound
my
like
chair. It's my chair.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, the
it was
chair.
the chair of it. To everybody, it was
If
the
you
chair.
want me
Stop
to
making
fart,
that
do
noise
you know what?
now.
I'll brew one and I'll just fire it down the mic. I'm not scared. Anyway, that was a big long catch up and a little.
That
bitch.
was a long catch up.
Yeah. That might resurface.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'll probably crop up again.
It probably will, and that means most people are probably going to shut off now. So see you in a bit.
Right, the Who Am I from last week.
Who am I from last week? Sorry, by the way, that I deleted this off. I don't know why I did that. You had
It's alright, I had it on my notes anyway, I just copied and pasted it. Right, so, I was born on 24th of March 1930, and although not widely known, my first name is Terence. You said that gave it away, Ash. I didn't know that until I looked it up. I competed in off-road motorcycle racing, frequently running a BSA Hornet and using the alias Harvey Mushman. In 1964, I was part of the first ever official US team entry into the Silver Vase category of the International 6-Day Trial, an enduro-type off-road motorcycle event held that year in Erfurt, West Germany. And arguably the motorcycle I'm most famous for riding is a Triumph TR6 along with Bud Ekins in 1963. And the answer was...
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen.
I had to Google
I got
it.
the idea. I got the idea for that because I follow a page on Facebook, Ash, a motorcycle page, because I do that. I follow motorcycle pages called TT USA. So like it's like Road Race USA TT or something like that.
Yeah.
They put up a picture of Steve McQueen, and they had all these. He actually did road racing. I couldn't find any of it, but they had it up there saying about all the road races that he did. Because he actually took part in some on-track American road races as well. So I was like, there's one. I could pick him for my Who Am I?
He's very cool. Well, was very cool.
He was quite cool.
Very cool. So the Who Am I this week is mine, and I will bang out the clues now. So I was born on the 6th of January 2000, Valencia in Spain. In 2016, made my debut replacing injured Dominic Agata in Moto2, and I have ridden in both MotoGP and World Superbikes. Now Chippy's on.
When you say made your debut, do you mean made what debut? Motorcycle debut or Moto2 debut?
Kind of like this was the big thing.
Okay.
So
it.
I don't know. Fucking hell. It's obviously quite a big thing at the time for him. So or her.
So I made my Moto2 debut.
Yes.
Okay.
Any ideas?
I got this.
Well,
I got
Chippy's already
this
guessed
already.
it, but
I've got. I don't have any strong ideas that's just pinning to my head. I've got a few names running around, but I'm trying to work it out. I'm like, would they be that age? So, an answer to your question, no, not really, but I will keep thinking about it.
okay.
I thought he was older. Or she.
Yeah.
It's obviously a
No,
he.
I've got a name
Jesus
run-
Christ.
I've got a name running through my head, but I really
Running
don't
through
think
my
it's
head,
him.
running through my head. Right, well, message me privately if you think you know.
Well, you may as well put it in the group chat because I've already got it.
Oh yeah, he's already got it.
I think you'll laugh at me if I say this name.
Come on,
because
because
As long as
I
it's
wanna
not
do a Chippy.
Rossi.
He's Italian.
I can't even remember his name now.
Whenever somebody puts a clue, it's Italian. It's like it's Rossi.
I can't even remember his name now. Oh,
Oh,
right.
have you got it?
this is a real guess, right? And you're going to laugh at this guess because I don't think it's even close to right. And I'm trying to think about when he was in Moto 2.
If it's wrong, I'm going to do a chippy on you.
Do you, Chippy? I think it is wrong.
So stupid!
Yes! No, I don't think it was him, but he's the only name running through my head.
Okay.
Running through my head.
Running through my head.
I don't even know if he's Spanish. To be honest, I think he is. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Cool. What's the plan now?
This is a long silence.
It is. Well, Sam was taking a big swig of his old speckled hen. Is it old speckled hen?
No, it's old golden hen.
Oh, the golden hen again. Ah,
Yes.
very good.
Partly because that's the only one the shop sells. Right, folks, if you would like to get in contact and answer the who am I that Ash has just posed to, which I don't know, you can contact us by sending us an email at podcast@bigbadbs.co.uk. But don't bother doing that because nobody else does.
Right.
Right, on with the show. Well, we run on with the news.
Yes. Leave a little gap for the jingle.
Such a
There's
good.
no jangle.
So regarding the National Superstock Race 2 at Brands Hatch, I'm just going to read a little statement that was released this week. The motorcycle race... Oh, hang on, I'll start that again. The Motorcycle Circuit Racing Control Board...
The Motorcycle Circuit Racing Control Board.
Yes, the MCRCB. Following
Motorcycle Racing.
Following receipt of a report from the MCRCB stewards present at Brands Hatch, wish to investigate the circumstances of potential irregularities concerning post-race technical control following the Pirelli National Superstock Championship Race 2 on the 15th of October. Now, I saw on Facebook a statement a while ago from Richard Kerr's team saying that there was an illegal part on Dan Linfoot's bike, and I think it was the brakes. I think they were like non-stock brakes. Apparently, that they were told at the time they'd missed their window to appeal, but by the sounds of it now, they are now looking into it. And all the results are now provisional for that race as it stands, and we still haven't heard anything else. They're investigating it now, and if found guilty, I think Dan Linfoot will be disqualified from the race, which will mean that he will lose his championship and the title will be given to Richard Kerr because he finished second, so he'd get promoted to first and he'd finish with more points at the end of the season.
So has that bike been seized now or something? Have they got it?
Well, I don't know, because surely they can just quickly change
the brakes on.
Brakes back round. Yeah.
Surely
And
if they've red taped the bike and hidden it away somewhere, then maybe they can investigate.
Yeah.
But
And the thing is, it's not
Maybe,
likely. It's not going to be.
Perhaps there needs to be a paper trail whenever you're putting a bike together.
Maybe.
Perhaps you need to have
maybe
some
there is
sort
that.
of paper trail.
Possibly, yeah.
Or maybe they can look at data whenever they were testing the bike or whatever.
But surely that's not the only race which that's happened. They're not just going to put non-stop brakes on just for the last race. Surely it's happened at other times in the season, if it's happened. Not saying they're guilty.
But how many points do they get for a race in National Superstock?
I think it runs the same as BSB, so it was 35 for the last race, I believe.
All right, so it would make a difference then, because I thought if it was only 25, it's not going to make any difference.
Yeah, but no, it's 35, so he'll be disqualified. But Richard Kerr then got up to first, so then he gets more points. I think it.
But I don't understand. I don't understand why Dan Linfoot would do that, because it doesn't benefit him in any way. Because if you presume that he's not run this particular bit on his bike in previous rounds, you would imagine that at least he's going to get top 5, which would have probably won him the championship anyway.
Yes, you'd have thought.
So what was to gain from doing that?
it's
Unless they were
probably
doing it all
not
season.
Yeah, it probably wasn't Dan Linfoot. He might not have even known about it, although I'm possibly sure it was. And also, I'm just going to point out now, that statement was all it said. There was just post-race technical irregularities. It doesn't actually say who it was for, but
No, it doesn't say Dan Linfoot.
Yeah, I'm putting 2 and 2 together that it's probably linked to Dan Linfoot's.
Well, I saw a post on Facebook where somebody just come out and mentioned their names. Now, when I say I saw that on Facebook, I don't think it wasn't anything official, but it was. I got the impression that somebody that maybe knew what they were talking about. You know what I mean?
there won't be any paper trail for the brakes because as a stock bike, it would have come with them calipers. for that manufacturer calipers. So if they were to buy aftermarket calipers and put them on, they would never know. They would just need to swap them back over.
Yeah, but would they not have to? Would they not have to officially announce? Not announce from the rafters, but do they not have to officially put something if they want to change anything in the bike? Do they not have to make a record of it?
Well, not if they don't make a record of it. And I think this is the problem. If it has happened, then what's to stop them going, oh, let's just stick the stock calipers back on and just say no more about it? Unless they've seized the bike.
But then what annoys me is if they've done that and then the other team's gone and complain, it's well, you had your time to complain and you didn't do it. You took too long to complain. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, actually we will go back and look at it. We fucking will. I was going to say.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one, that, isn't it?
It is a bit odd.
On one hand, I think it's a bit harsh if they take the championship off them, because I don't think, at the end of the day, I don't think it was going to make that much of a difference.
I mean,
but on the other hand, it's I do kind of feel for Richard Kerr, because it's going to be in the back of his head now going, did that give him an extra performance? Has he been doing that? Or has his team been doing that all year round?
Yeah. But then you've also got to think, if it is right, and it is on Dan Linfoot's bike, for all he knows, he didn't know what bloody brake calipers were on it.
No, I know.
So it could have just been his team that did it, and, well, I'm not saying it has, but, it'll be interesting to see what comes of that.
We were talking about it briefly on our Discord, and at the time I thought, so apologies to Ryan, because I told him I don't think it would make much difference, but I thought they only got 25 points for a win, so I was thinking unless they disqualify him from the entire championship for cheating, but if it runs alongside as of superbikes,
I think it does. I'm not 100%. I'm sure it does,
because it does it not miss rounds where the superbike has rounds, so that would mean it wouldn't work, but it probably does. But if it does, I know.
It'll be interesting to see what comes of it when they start properly investigating it.
But I thought maybe the team thought we've already got, kind of we've got the championship wrapped up. All Dan needs to do is finish in tops, whatever. Let's try and get the hurry up for testing next season and try a couple of new bits. Who's going to know?
Maybe.
Oh shit, AMD Motorsports team noticed.
Yeah. And we were there.
It would be,
for that. Yeah.
We were there, that's right. Oh, I saw it when they read by it. 150 mile an hour, I noticed.
Different colour calipers.
Yeah.
Was Chippy there?
It would be nice.
No, I was busy moving house.
No, you'd already moved house. You weren't allowed to come. Don't forget that.
I was allowed to go if I wanted.
Under thumb.
She did actually say to me when I dropped... Oh, no, when you were going to the airport, she was like, why didn't you go?
Whatever. That is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard.
I swear on my dog's life.
By she, I imagine you mean your wife.
Yes.
So basically, Sam, what Chippy is saying is he could have come, but he just chose he didn't want to come to a big bad bike show outing.
Pretty much.
Nice to hear that, isn't it?
I would like to know how Richard Kerr. Obviously, Dan Linfoot's going to be pretty pissed off about it.
Yeah.
But I would like to know how Richard Kerr feels about it.
Yeah.
Because he might be sitting at home, no, he's not sitting at home because he might be now, but he was at the Sunflower Cup, Bishop's Court. He might be sitting there thinking, I don't really want to win the championship that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't know how friendly him and Dan Linfoot are. He's maybe thinking it's hardly a big deal. It's not going to make much difference to the bike. The team's pushing through it, pushing on with it, or he might be thinking, that rapscallion, how dare he?
I would definitely be investigating it. If I was Richard Kerr, I'd be like, find out. Well, that's it for the news then,
right?
Isn't it?
That is it for the news.
We might have a little bit more news. I'm sure we could come up with some other more news. Huh?
No.
Right. I've got one. Moto America will see a new super sport team in 2024. in Rahal Ducati Moto, headed by the current IndyCar driver and Ducati dealership owner Graham Maralhal, something like that, with 5-time AMA Superbike and 2009 World Superbike champion Ben Spies as team manager. No announcement has been made as to who will ride the two-bike team, but it will be in the championship. That's one for our American listeners.
Very good.
But that'll be good to see Ben Spies running a team, because he's obviously got some weight in America. And he's running a Ducati team as well, so they might be able to get some decent riders too.
Yeah, everyone wants to ride a
None of you two
watch
Moto America,
no,
so
we
you
don't.
don't care.
We don't.
No.
You're the only one that's got a subscription.
But even without a subscription, you can watch it on YouTube like a day later.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have paid for the subscription if I'd have known that. Right. Well, we move on and talk about the actual race.
Yes.
Well, I put a message out in our Discord asking if anybody had anything they wanted us to talk about or wanted to give us any little bits and pieces, and Ryan C got in touch as he did last week, so thank you, Ryan, for getting in touch. So he basically says the MotoGP, Martin's soft tyre gamble backfired. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Miller going backwards again. Shock. Zarco won a race. It was good to see a backflip. He'll be doing plenty of backflips in the Honda next year. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. And he wants to know where DG has been all season. Don't we all? We all want to know that. But I guess he just needed time, but they weren't willing to give it to him, because when Marc Marquez comes a knocking...
I'm sorry, but he's had plenty of time. He's had 2 years.
He has had plenty of time.
Well, he's starting to come to now, so...
Yeah, but now
maybe
Marquez
he
is
didn't have
coming
enough
along,
time.
so it's like, see you later, DG.
Yeah.
He goes on to talk about Moto3. He says, cold, windy and wet. Yeah, 3 crashes in the sighting lap, including a banged-up Holgado. Thinks Kelso should be having a few beers. I agree with that. That's my boy. You're my boy, Blue! And Onshu, he's a really good rider when he's not being a mad bastard.
Oh.
He says Moto2 weather didn't get any better. Even Acosta had a tumble in the sighting lap. Still a solid race. Thinks Moto2 riders seem to really struggle with to get heat in the tyres, obviously, because they're all falling off all over the place. And he's surprised at the timing of the red flag. Thought it would have come out earlier.
I didn't watch Moto 3 or 2, so I'm just...
No, I
about
didn't
this
either.
For the first time, so.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for getting in touch. We will run through most of that now anyway.
Yes.
So how much of the race did you actually... Did anybody watch qualified? I'm going to be honest, I didn't, because
No,
it was
I
on too early.
I didn't. I watched the main MotoGP race. Now, I'm a little bit confused, because I went onto Discovery Plus to watch that race, and
Yeah.
there was nothing saying that there was a sprint race there.
No, because it wasn't a sprint race.
So did they just sort of merge it into one race? Or they just didn't do it?
No, they were... So this is why you should follow other media to do with motorbikes, because then you would find this stuff out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't need to follow media, I just know by watching the bikes. So what happened was, because the weather was really bad, they thought, it came true, they thought that on the Sunday the weather would be so bad that they may actually have to cancel the race.
Right.
Like they knew that was a possibility. So they thought it would be best to have the main race on the Saturday. That way, if they have to cancel a race, it would be the sprint.
Got ya.
So they swapped the races over. Also thinking that the sprint would be more likelihood of getting the sprint fitted in before the weather turns bad.
Yeah.
So they had a main race on Saturday.
Got ya.
Did they just merge them both together?
I don't know. And just
have
add
like a 40 lap
yeah,
race.
why not?
Because you'd need fuel stops and tyre changes and everything. Formula 1 style.
Just increase the tank capacity. Have harder tyres.
But, yeah, so they swapped the races round, and that's the reason why. They swapped the feature race and the sprint race round so they could have the sprint on the Sunday and hopefully get it fitted in.
Got ya.
But,
yeah, a shame about Jorge Martin. Obviously, it's not a shame because Zarco won, and that's great. But he was leading for fucking all of that race, and then he just lost it on the last lap, didn't he?
Well, the thing is, that soft tyre, I don't understand why you qualify on pole. Just go with what everybody else has gone with. You don't need to take a gamble. If he was down in 16th, then I'd say, yeah, stick a soft in and just take a risk, and it might pay off. But not when you're first. I don't get that.
I think hindsight's a great thing, but I think obviously it shows that the medium tyre worked fine. And yes, if he had been in the medium tyre, you can only imagine that he would have been in the group with Zarco and Bagnaia and whoever finished in front of him in the end. So it does beg that question: why did you go soft? However, they got him on the last lap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it nearly paid off.
Yeah.
It nearly paid off. This is what I said to you in the
didn't.
chat. We were talking about. I don't know if we were talking to Ash, or I don't know if it was on the chat or not, or if it was just me and you to each other. I'm not sure, but probably to the group chat because we all knew the result by this stage. The only thing I can think of is soon after they finished the race, the rain started.
Yeah.
So maybe they had forecasted that the rain was going to come like 20 minutes.
I was very surprised
No,
Jack Miller didn't do better.
Well, as from our recording last week that Chippy didn't turn up to,
Yes.
you
I did listen
will
to it
know
today.
that I'm not very surprised that Jack Miller
Yes.
didn't do very well because the previous year he came off. So I wasn't expecting big things from Jack Miller.
You would like to think that usually the riders at their home rounds tend to do better, though. They tend to, because
Yeah.
they know the track better.
I'll say it again, he came off last
Yes,
year.
I get that, but you can come off for many reasons. Could get knocked off
Yes.
your bike.
Yeah.
But I was expecting more from Miller, to be honest. But there you go.
You expect too much from Jack Miller.
Probably.
I expect him to move aside and let Pedro Costa take his bike. That's what I expected.
That's what should happen.
not really to move aside. I expect at KTM to go, Jack Miller, we're putting Pedro Costa in your
That's
bike.
what I expected as
Wah,
well.
wah, wah.
Right, I listened to your last week's podcast. I listened to it today, and Ash was crying so much about Pedro Costa not getting a factory ride.
Right.
The thing is, the gas bike is exactly the same bike as the factory
is,
KTM,
it
so
is.
it doesn't matter.
But it's just, like I say, it was like Moto 3, Moto 2, he's always been on that Red Bull KTM. It would have been nice to have seen him gone to the Moto
Yeah, but
GP
so was
Red Bull
Ralph
KTM.
Fernandez. So was
Right,
Ralph
but
Fernandez.
you say it's exactly the same, but here's a scenario. Let's say, inverted commas, factory KTM bike,
You haven't got
Brad Binder.
KTM support as much.
Let's say Brad Binder and Pedro Costa. Final round, they're both going to the line. They're both racing for the championship. They're both within enough points of each other that whoever wins, regardless of where they win, whoever beats each other on the track is going to win the championship. Okay, who do you think KTM's going to invest more time and effort into? They're going to do it to their main factory bike. They're going to give them more effort, more attention. So they might have the same bike, but they're not going to have the same support.
Exactly.
And when it comes to mid-season, and they get new parts, the inverted commas factory sponsored bike is going to get the best parts first.
Yeah, but
That's why it's so.
I don't know. I think he's made a good choice being at Gas because it's his rookie season as well.
I don't think it's Pedro Costa's choice at all.
No.
I think Pedro Costa just had to do what Pedro Costa told to do.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to go to another bike.
But I think
So I
Gas
don't think
is probably the
he's
best
made a
fit for
choice.
him. I do. He's not going to do that well. I think he'll be pushing top 10 by the end of the season.
They could have put Jack Miller on the Gas KTM and then given Pedro Costa the factory support.
I don't know
Why?
if they can do that.
What has Pedro Costa done, really, to deserve factory support straight away?
Smash
I know he's won-
Moto 3, Moto 2.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that's warranting going straight into a factory team.
Why not? Marc Marquez did it.
What's Jack Miller done to keep the factory bike?
Well, he signed the contract, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had 2 years, didn't it? Is it 2-year contracts he had on the factory bike?
It runs out in 2024, so depending on when he signed it.
Yeah.
Marc Marquez went straight into a factory bike at GP.
He did.
So
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
And he even
so
had.
there's no reason why Pedro Costa couldn't, but obviously there is a reason. Cause
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he should, just because Marc Marquez did.
Yeah, but Marc Marquez had timing. It was just perfect
Yeah, I
timing
suppose,
at that point.
yeah.
Because Johan Zarco was a 2 times Moto2 champion, and like I know he's just won his first race after 7 years, but whenever he first went into MotoGP, like they were expecting big things from him, but there was just old dinosaurs like Valentino Rossi who wouldn't move over, wouldn't leave the championship. I want to win one more championship. It's not going to happen, old man. Move over and let the younger ones through, like Johan Zarco. And then I had to do 2 years in the Tech 3 Yamaha.
I was at Johan Zarco's first race in MotoGP. I was there. And he nearly won as well. Or he was at the front for a lot of it.
He came off.
Did he come off? I can't remember now.
Did he not lose the front? Was that not the one where he lost the front?
Possibly. It was Qatar 2017.
I think he lost the front. I think he was in the front for quite a bit. And then there's like maybe it's not Qatar, maybe it was Argentina I'm thinking about, the one after that. But anyway, at the very beginning, yeah, he was so close to winning races at the beginning. But my point is, at that time, Yamaha was a world championship winning bike.
Yes.
And ultimately we know that as close as Valentino Rossi got in 2015 and stuff and all that, he never did win another championship. So what was he doing there? Obviously it was Valentino Rossi, he can do whatever he wants, of course. But then he went to Petronas Yamaha, and it's like, could he not have done that years ago, which had been Tech 3? So my point is, Marc Marquez came at the right time. If Valentino Rossi had moved over earlier, Johan Zarco could have walked straight into the factory bike, and then there you go. But
yes.
And Pedro Costa's just coming at the wrong time because it's absolutely rammed with riders, and they've just all got contracts.
I still think the Gas is the best place for him to be. In his rookie year, I think that's the best place
him
to
moving
start.
up to MotoGP is great.
He's not going to do that well in his first year.
I'm just saying I would have preferred him to have gone to the factory KTM, the full factory.
I don't think he deserves it yet.
I think KTM know what they're doing, though, because it was proved when he went to Moto2. As good as he was in Moto2, and they all knew he was going to do well and potentially win the championship eventually, his first season in Moto2,
it's a bit underwhelming.
He was learning, and to be honest, he took it really well. Like he never really came out and felt like he had to apologise. You know, he never really came out and felt like he had to. I'm looking for another word other than apologise, but you got the feeling that he was. If he didn't do well, he was like, "Well, it's my first year. I'm a rookie.
Yes.
What do you expect?"
Which I think is what's going to be happening in MotoGP. Get 1 year on the gas, get a feel for it, and then maybe move up to the factory if you do well.
Do you think he can win a race?
Not next year.
You don't think he can even win one race?
I think he'll get a podium, and get a couple of podiums. I reckon.
I reckon. I'm not saying he will, but I reckon he's got a race win in him.
I'd like it if he did, but I don't think he will. I think maybe a couple of podiums at best.
How did we get on to talking about Pedro Costa? Like, oh, that's right. We're talking about Jack Miller.
Yes.
Going backwards.
Yes.
At the start of the race, I thought Jack Miller's on one here. He might actually pull something out of the bag, but wasn't to be.
No. And obviously, Johan Zarco won the race. And I liked how
I barely celebrated it.
I know, yeah. Well, I liked how he
because I knew it was coming.
He stood on the barrier and he got loads of people started shouting. And then he did the backflip. It's pretty cool.
Did bring a tear to my eye when I saw that backflip. I'll be honest.
I was because I was like I say, I was in Butlins. I was in my apartment, and the usual happened where Jorge Martin took up the road, but they were starting to pull him back in, and the pundits were going like Neil Hodgson. They were talking about who's the best at keeping tyres. Johan Zarco. Look how fast Johan Zarco is. He's catching. He could win this race. And I was like, how many times have we heard this? How many times has this happened? And then at one stage I thought, whenever Bagnaia was sneaking about as well, I was like, oh, Bagnaia's just going to steal it from him. Roar! And then once he actually got in front, and it's like, he's only got like 3 corners left. Fuck me, I was absolutely bouncing around that rim. Like, I was biting my fist. I was like, oh, come on. I was like, come on. And then once he actually over the line, I just went like, very inadvertently, because I was trying to be as quiet as possible, but I went like rather silently mental. I was like, I was like running up and down. I was like your dog when it gets excited. Run up and down, do that thing they do, then run up and down, do that thing they do again. You know the thing where they drop down and they kind of stump their front paws and they drop down and put their head down. And their arse is up in the air and their tail wiggles, and then they go run round the circle and they run past you again, and then they come back up and they do it again. I was like that.
Well, I'm glad you got that feeling. I didn't, because you ruined it for me.
Yeah, I was robbed of that feeling as well. Thanks, Ash.
I didn't ruin it. You were stupid and went on to Facebook, social media.
Stupid. You went onto social media and posted it.
You were stupid on two counts. You were stupid for going on social media in the first place, and then you were stupid again for them posting it in the chat without checking to see if I'd seen it first.
I was stupid.
I don't know how many times I have to say this. I don't know how many times we have to say this. We run, and we try to run as best as possible. We have a Facebook page that is like 90% dedicated to motorcycle racing.
I am aware of that.
It's quite significant. Yeah. That's what it's for. But try and understand where we're at here, Ash. We have other social medias who also run podcasts who are a hell of a lot more successful than we are, and the reason is because they're posting content that is relevant. They're posting relevant content at the relevant times. So whenever something happens, they post it. Well, they try and get as much traction as possible. Johan Zarco would just want to race. Everybody's going to be talking about it and posting about it. We need to be doing the same. Oh, hold on here. I'll not post it. I'll just have to go round the houses and ask every other cunt if they fucking seen the race. Hey, have you seen the race? Can I post this? Please, get to fuck. I'm not doing that.
Well, a heads up would have been nice.
What heads up?
Not putting it on the
Have
Facebook
you seen
page.
the race I am posting on Facebook? Or how about I ask you permission for everything that I do then?
No. It's just now I won't ever go on the page again on race day. Because now
you shouldn't have done that in the first place.
Up, which has never happened before.
I'll contact Joe.com. Excuse me, Joe.com. Have you put the results up for the Tyson Fury fight? Because I don't think Ash Hall's watched that fight yet. So don't put them results up until he's seen it. Oh, what do you mean? It's going to take him 3 weeks before he watches it because he's a lazy cunt? Yeah, it's going to take him about 3 weeks because his dad's there. But is his dad awake at 5:30 in the morning? No, his dad's probably in bed. So then why is he not up watching the race? It's not like anybody's going to be getting in the way. Oh, he had a late night. What do you mean he had a late night? He had a late night up drinking. Do you not think he should have anticipated it for the Australian MotoGP or had his late night very late so he could have stayed out and watched the race? Yes, I suppose he could have done that, but he didn't do it, and now he's trying to blame Sam.
No, I'm not trying to blame you. Well, I'm blaming you for me finding out the result. That I'm blaming you for. My blame for telling.
No, your own fault.
Chippy finding out was my fault. Me finding out was your fault. End of.
No. You finding out. You found out from going onto a social media page, which just happened to be ours.
Which has never happened before.
Racing page.
Which has never happened before. This argument is never going to settle because... There you go.
Where has Digian Antonio been all season?
He's probably been looking at our page to find out the results. Yeah, it was good to see him. Obviously, I mean, I was surprised.
Last couple of weeks, he's been class.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him up there. And I was thinking, bloody hell, he's becoming consistent. Why is it now he's becoming consistent?
Apparently, they've changed something on the setup. I think for his Ducati, and it's just clicked.
Oh, I bet he's.
But it's a bit too late
now.
Yes.
But it's like, great.
We're going to get on silly season later where he could end up, but
surely it's got to be.
It's a shame.
Superbikes.
Well, we're going to get onto that.
All right. Okay. Anyway,
where's Sam gone?
He's probably gone to go and freaking calm himself down with a bit of woosah.
Want to get another beer?
Yeah.
Getting me some beer.
God.
After that argument, he needs another beer.
Yeah.
Just after anything I do, I need another beer.
Out for a meal the other night, I had a non-alcoholic Cobra in the Indian. I've never had a non-alcoholic Cobra before. It's quite nice.
You were
actually.
drinking non-alcoholic Guinness at the racing, weren't you?
I had one.
Did you have any actual alcohol?
No,
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're so weak.
just don't drink anymore. Really?
There's nothing wrong with not drinking, Chippy.
Yeah, you
Doesn't
used to
define
never
you as
drink.
I still don't
doesn't
drink.
define you as any more of a man or less of a person or whatever just because you don't drink. But what I will say is, what the fuck is the point of drinking non-alcoholic stuff? Why?
Well, just to feel part of it, I suppose.
Well, then just drink. If you want to be part of it.
As you know, I can't drink alcohol at the moment, Sam.
I'm going to be honest. There's very few drinks out there. If you take away the fact that they're alcoholic, that I drink and go, nice. Very few. Most of them are like, drunk.
Noodle soup.
Who's ever drank something alcoholic and goes, you know what? That's actually really, really nice. I'm glad I drank this because it just tastes nice. In fact, it tastes so nice I drank the non-alcoholic version. That's called Coke or Pepsi or something. Nobody drinks for the flavour. Everybody drinks to get fucking wrecked. That's the only reason you drink. Otherwise, we just drank Coke all day or water. Oh, I'm going to drink all these non-alcoholic. The only reason companies are making non-alcoholic stuff is so they can go back to advertising their brand. Oh, we want to advertise our beer. Our non-alcoholic beer. Yeah, it looks just like our alcohol stuff, except we put 0.0 on the advertising.
Well, I had 0%
Yay.
Guinness, but I had no blackcurrant to put with it, Chippy, so wasn't as good.
No.
Yeah. Have you drunk that whiskey I got you, Sam?
No, not yet.
All right. Yes.
Wait.
I just wondered. Just figured you've got liquor around, it usually goes down the hatch pretty quickly.
No, I've not had to. I've not had any whiskey apart from that Tom Navalin. I'm having a look. I'm on Bagnaia. I want to see Bagnaia's previous results. Where he finished in the MotoGP previous years, but I can't seem to find that. You used to be able to find that stuff in the MotoGP app, but then they changed the MotoGP app and now it's shit and you can't find that stuff.
What did you want to find, sorry?
Probably find
Bagnaia's results.
Along with the race result.
Bagnaia's results since he started MotoGP. I mean, he's like
Just in MotoGP?
season. Yeah, just his season ending results. Where he got, where he finished each season.
Okay. So, this year, obviously he's first. Last year, first. Season before that, second. 16th,
Right.
15th. And then he was in Moto 2.
So his first 2 years, that's just the point I'm getting at. His first 2 years, he finished 15th and 16th. He was
On the
hardly setting
Pramac.
the world on. He was hardly setting the world on fire, and then he went on and won the championship. My point is, some riders need a couple of years.
Yes.
There's too much focus in MotoGP now that you've got to hit the ground running, and if you don't, you moved out. And Ducati have a real bad habit for it. They even done it to Jorge Lorenzo. They had Jorge Lorenzo on the bike. They gave him 1 year. He didn't get to terms with it. Halfway through his second year, they told him they was getting rid of him, and then he started winning races. And if you watch the Ducati documentary, they say to Jorge Lorenzo, "Could you have won a championship?" He says, "Yes, I could have." And then they speak to the Ducati bosses, and they think, "Do you think Lorenzo could have won a championship?" And they said, "Yes, he could have." And they admit themselves that they got rid of him too soon. Now, I know Morbidelli is a good rider, and probably every bit as good as Di Giannantonio, but maybe they just needed to give Di Giannantonio a bit of time. Maybe they just needed to listen to him and put the bike the way he wanted it earlier.
Well, we won't know now, will we? Because he's leaving.
I've got a question that's just come into my head.
Oh, no.
Young Ash, have you done something with your beard?
I have trimmed it down, yeah.
No, it looks very dark.
No,
Doesn't
I
it,
haven't
Chippy?
dyed it.
Do you know what?
No, it look,
And this is
it looks
honest.
very-
Earlier, I actually was thinking, Sam, it looks like you've started to dye the top of your hair.
No, not the top of it, no.
No,
What's
I
up?
do not dye my beard like you, Sam, I'm afraid.
Although I'm kind of glad you got rid of that bob.
It's looking different because earlier on I shaved it down to number 4 because it was getting a bit long.
No, I think you dyed your beard. I dyed mine. You're like, oh, Sam dyed his beard. I can start dyeing mine too.
Well, what am I going to do? Dye my beard ginger? If I was going to dye it, I'd dye it brown.
No, dye it black because you're ashamed of your ginger heritage and roots.
I'm not ashamed of my ginger beard.
You stuttered there. You're like, I'm not. No, I'm not ashamed. I'm crying inside.
No. I get a little. When I've got it trimmed down though, there's like a little bald patch on my beard there.
My little
what was
bob
going on with your
I
bob?
had.
Yes, your bob.
Oh
no,
God, you look so ridiculous.
So that is literally what I look like when I come out of the shower. I've just out of the shower,
That's
so I wash my hair.
Weird.
I've not done anything to it. That's what it looks like at the minute. I'm in the middle of growing my hair.
It was like Photoshop. It's like you'd Photoshop the Beatles' head onto yours.
So I'm in the middle of growing my hair, as you know. So for the listeners, I'm in the middle of growing my hair. It's at that length where you can't really do anything with it, apart from either put a hat on or wear a hairband or something. But I got just out of the shower and did look like a little bob, a little short hair bob.
Are you going like full on long again, like you were when you looked like Jesus?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
You going full Jesus?
Yes, so basically I'm never cutting my hair ever again.
Oh my God. He's going to be that guy.
What do you mean, that guy? There's plenty of guys with long hair.
Long hair, long beard, just looking like a scraggly old hobo.
My beard's not long. I trim my beard down the other
day. If you
day.
grow your hair down to your ass, you'll be growing that beard like Gandalf. I know you will.
Well, I'm not growing my hair down to my ass. I will get it cut when it gets that length.
You're just going to go to shoulder length.
I think shoulder length will be the limit.
It looked like Garth out of Wayne's World. Oh dear.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh dear.
Or Wayne.
Yeah,
you're just jealous because you can't grow your hair, you bald twat.
No, I can't. But I'd rather bald than have shoulder length hair.
Why? I can choose to cut my hair. You're just jealous.
I can choose to cut my hair. That's the worst thing ever. I do choose to cut my hair. Shave it off.
That is the biggest lie ever. I would rather be bald than have the option to grow shoulder length hair.
Yeah.
What a lie. What an absolute lie. Because I could be as bald as you are. I could choose to be bald like you.
Yes.
But I can also choose to grow long hair. I would rather be bald than have the ability and the option to grow long hair.
Absolutely.
Like you should get a beard, Chippy. I bet you look strange with a beard.
Do you know what? He actually quite suits a beard. It makes him look more like a man rather than a geeky child.
Well, I've never had a proper beard. I've just had like long stubble. But once before, when I was on holiday, I decided to grow like a goatee. I like shaved everywhere else. I had a goatee. I thought it looked quite good, but everybody else laughed at me, so I got rid of it.
I think
but that's the difference between me and you, Chippy. People laugh at me, and I just tell them to fuck off and continue doing what I want to do.
Yes.
Well, I think you should grow a beard.
You're like, oh, there's men in my house putting my sofa together. I better hide in the kitchen. I'm just going to throw it out there. That's how pornos start, mate. That's how pornos start.
Hey, we need help with this sofa in here. Oh no, I got my hand stuck.
Like, I know we should be talking about motorbikes, but have you seen that new advert about Rana pasta, where it's like they sit down and they're like, oh, this tastes just like Mama's recipe, and then he walks into the kitchen, and then the mum comes in and she looks at the pasta packet and she taps it and she goes, let's keep this between us, eh? I watch it and I think this is a porno waiting to happen. It's like, oh, you making the pasta just like Mama, and then they walk in and it's like, oh, I know your little secret. Oh yeah, let me suck your dick. Or maybe I just watch too much porn.
Should we get back to the bikes because we've digressed massively? I'm pretty sure that was.
You can tell there wasn't a lot of track action.
Not really.
My wife's headed down to our new house, and she's left me here for 2 or 3 days to sort everything out. She's taking the kids down and all. And I have loads of shit to sort out. I have loads of stuff to do. But as soon as that car took off the drive, what was the first thing I done?
You got your willy out.
Yes. I just seen that Rick Mel meme. A wank.
No, that was wasn't that the Alan Partridge one? When he's at the office and he grabs a briefcase and he goes, oh no, he's in the hotel room and he goes, well, a wank, I think. Oh, God.
Or Mickey Flanagan talked about it as well. As soon as your wife drives away, old men, they look out the window and then they run upstairs and have a wank.
Well, who is it spoke about it as well? Did you ever watch any of Kevin Hart's stuff? Like the
No.
Is he the Australian?
No, Kevin Hart. You know, the little fella that's...
The Scottish guy?
No. The guy that obviously does all the films with The Rock and that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, well, he goes,
Yes.
He's like, ladies, when you leave the house, he said, the first thing you do, if a man's got to do, he's going to be there with his trousers down his ankles. He said, when you leave the house, give it 30 seconds and walk back in the house and see what he's doing. And we're like, oh shit, baby, I'm sorry. And I'm pulling up his trousers, like, what you doing here? That had me laughing.
We literally can't help ourselves.
Anyway.
Right. Moto 2, or have we finished with MotoGP?
I think we've finished with MotoGP. TG's been shite all season and he's all of a sudden pulled it out of his ass.
Yes.
He's made a good point about him getting the bike the way he wanted it and his team doing something with his bike that he seems to have helped.
It's just a shame it's taken this long.
It is.
I don't think it can all be the bike, though.
No. I didn't really
Just
rate
not-
him in Moto 2, to be honest. He was very mediocre.
There's just a lot of riders around at the minute. I know that sounds a bit silly, but
So there's more riders than seats.
there's a hell of a lot of talent.
Yes.
There is.
Right. Moto 2.
Yeah, you'll have to
I'm
fill us
very
in on
burpy.
this,
How did
because
that
we
go
haven't
down?
seen any of this.
I'll have to fill you in.
Yeah.
So what happened was, let me get the results up. So what happened was, it was raining, it was absolutely hoofing it down, and to be honest, I don't even know if they should have put the Moto 2 out in the first place. I don't even know if they should have sent them out.
Is it that
Because
bad?
it was really, really wet, and they had already thought that they might have to cancel the MotoGP race. That's why they changed it with the sprint and all. But they all went out anyway, and it was just one after another. It was from the very first lap, just one after. They were just flying off. Everybody was crashing. Acosta didn't have the greatest of races, but he was solid enough.
Can you remember what lap it was they put the red flag out then?
It wasn't even halfway. I think it was about a third of the way through.
Right,
They put
okay.
the flag out.
Was it half points?
Half points, yeah. Because they put the flag out and then they were waiting to see if they would bring them back out again. And then they just declared it. That race is over. We're not sending you out again. And then the next day I heard... Because I had to catch up that day. Because obviously the racing was on like... The Moto 3 started at 1 in the morning. The Moto 2 was about 3 in the morning or something stupid. And the Moto GP was like 4:30. So I had to catch up on it.
Why didn't you get
And
up at
straight
1
away I
o'clock
went
and
to
watch the
Moto-
Moto 3?
Because I don't have to. I've got the app. I can watch it any time I want.
Oh, right, so you could have done that
I'm
with
just-
the MotoGP then.
Well, I could have.
Not ruined everybody
Yes,
else.
but you know what? But you know what? But you know what I didn't do? I didn't get up and go on Facebook and go, "Oh, I wonder what the results were." I didn't do that. I said, "I'll go straight onto my MotoGP app." But I went onto the MotoGP app and I knew straight away that the MotoGP had been cancelled because there was a Moto 3 race, a Moto 2 race, but there was no MotoGP race. And I thought, well, by now they must have had the MotoGP, so that's obviously been cancelled. But it was just carnage. See if I can get the results up, because I can't even remember who done what.
wonder if Jake Dixon finished.
No, he
he
crashed.
Sam Lowe's?
Jake
remember seeing
Dixon
that.
crashed. No, he crashed. Shut
Rory,
up.
Rory Skinner got some points.
Did he?
You think he finished
Everybody else
14th?
cry.
He's shite, though, isn't he?
He's not. Right, this is a thing. You need to...
This is a thing.
This is a thing, right? If you watch BSB for more than one season, you realise how talented he actually is.
I love
He
saying
is
stuff
so
about
good.
Rory Skinner. To
Yeah,
see
but
how
how can you say Rory? How can you say Rory Skinner's good when he's had a bad season, but you can turn around and say that Gian Antonio's shit?
Because Gian Antonio's had 2 years in MotoGP. Rory Skinner's had not even a full year yet.
1 year. Well, Gian Antonio's not had 2 full years. He's had one full year, and he's in his second year.
Yes.
Yeah, so Rory
And
Skinner's had
Rory
almost
Skinner
1
is
year.
1 second off the pace, off the best lap.
So
It's just
by your reckoning, Rory Skinner's going to win Moto2 next year.
No, I don't think he's going to win it, but I think he'll be a lot higher.
Do you think he'll win a race next year?
What was Jake Dixon
Do you
like
think
when
it's-
he first got into
do you think-
Moto2?
Do you think
Jake
do you
Dixon
think
was
Rory
terrible.
Skinner will what? I don't give a fuck about Jake Dixon. Do you think Rory Skinner will win a race next year?
Maybe towards the end of the year.
Do you think Rory Skinner
I bet,
can
like,
win the
would be-
Moto2 championship?
So you're
Not
saying
next year.
towards the end of next year, Rory Skinner might improve. His results might improve. Where does that sound like in MotoGP? It sounds just like Gian Antonio, but you're saying I've never rated him, he's shit. But all of a sudden, it's fine whenever Rory Skinner does it.
That's because he's from BSB and Chippy bums the BSB. Simple as that.
And he's from Perth,
Oh.
just down the road.
BSB's the best in the world.
Well, it is, isn't it? Let's be honest, it is.
It was very good this year.
If it was that good, they wouldn't hate to manipulate with the fucking points and stuff.
And breaks.
And how often is it as good as it was last year? How often is it?
It's
that
always good. It is always good.
good? Nah.
It was good
I'm
this
sorry,
year. It
it's-
was good this year.
It's
It
good
was good
every
this
year.
year.
It's good every year.
Nah.
It is.
No.
But I think Rory Skinner
Yes.
it's not that great, really.
Well, you're just saying that just to try and wind me up. But if you watch that video I sent you earlier, which no doubt you didn't bother watching,
No, because you don't
You-
watch my
you'll
videos.
see. you'll see him saying about all these keyboard warriors and that, and him defending himself. And he's actually made some very good points in there. He's only 1 second off first place.
Yeah, but 1 second's a long time.
It is a long time in that class. It's a very competitive class, but he's worthy of being there.
So where did he finish? 15th?
14th, I think.
Oh, yeah. Break the headlines with that.
When he starts doing well, outperforming Jake Dixon, you'll eat your words.
Oh my god, he's not going to do that.
He is. What Jake Dixon? He was terrible when he first got into Moto2. He was doing worse than Rory Skinner.
Oh dear.
And I'm sure
Yeah,
you've been
but
like,
is he going to be in a
"Give
better
him some
bike?
time."
Is Rory Skinner going to be in a better bike?
Well, it's still the same bike, and it's just the team. I don't think American Racing's a great team. But maybe somebody else given the opportunity. But then again, John Hopkins is like his mentor now, isn't he?
Maybe it's because he's
9
got
laps.
free access to OnlyFans.
9 laps Moto2 last time. But Tony Arbolino won.
Yes.
Oh, Aaron Canet finished second. That's a surprise.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happens.
Zarco used to be the bloody Aaron Canet of MotoGP until he won that race.
Yes.
It wasn't a great race because it was literally just...
Couple of laps.
It was terrible. It was terrible watching them going around. It wasn't exciting. There was no real race going on. It was just like... It was like they were just riding around. I know racing is riding around in circles, but that's literally what it looked like. Like they were coming to corners and they were just up straight.
Hmm.
You know, there was no lane. There was nothing at all. It just looked absolutely horrendous. It made me think, why are they even out there riding? Why are they even
I
doing it?
hate wet races.
It's not good.
There was
is
a
it?
wet race a few weeks ago and you loved it. You were talking about how good it was.
I don't think that
I like it when they have to swap a bike.
Yes.
That's when it's good. When it's towards the end of the race and they have to swap a bike. But yeah, wet race is naff, isn't it, really?
It is, because it's not the proper result. It's not the true result. It's just whoever's good in the wet. Or whoever's made the right choice with tyres.
Yeah.
I'd rather see who's the best on that track.
Yeah, like Ash was saying, I don't mind it so much in MotoGP because they can have a flag-to-flag race. Like, if it's wet at the start, they can be like, right, that's a flag-to-flag race. If you want to change your bike, you can come in and change your bike. I like that. That's more exciting.
I like that.
Yes.
But yeah, the biggest thing from Moto2 was they were just flying off left, right, centre. Jack Dixon's still leading the championship. Or no. Pedro Costa's still leading the championship. Jack Dixon's still not in with a chance of winning the championship. Tony Arbolino's still second, but even winning that race, he only got half points. I don't think he's going to claw much back.
Well, it was all Binder's fault, wasn't it?
Yeah, apparently.
There's none of you watched the Moto2.
No.
Or can you not find it?
Or the Moto3.
I went to watch it, but the TNT or Discovery Plus, whatever it was, they hadn't got it on there. So I just had some results instead. Yeah, they had the checkered flag program and they had the warm-ups, but they didn't have the actual Moto3 and Moto2 races. Bit weird.
That's a bit strange. So you didn't watch the Moto3?
No. Anna Carrasco wasn't even there, was she?
No, but I saw a picture of her today. She's in hospital with her hand wrapped up.
No points coming my way then.
So I think she might have actually broken something whenever she crashed.
Yeah, it was a big... Well, it was a heavy sort of crash. And did she sort of lose the front and then it high-sided?
Yeah, it looked a bit like that, yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember now. Yeah, it was a nasty little crash.
There's Chippy smiling inside.
I'm not smiling inside. I feel sorry for her.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I'm sure she feels much better now knowing that she's got Chippy's pity.
Yes.
She hasn't.
Not that she needs it, because she's a hell of a lot more successful in life than any of us.
Absolutely.
So, none of you watched the Moto3 race. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, Joe Kelso might actually win a race. And for a good bit of it, he was right there. Like the top three were right beside each other. They were all right on top of each other, all three of them, until there was about 3 or 4 laps left, and then Joe Kelso just kind of dropped off. And I think he had it in his head where the three of them were pushing. Again, it was wet. The three of them were pushing to try and win the race, and at various moments in time, they all had little moments. Onchu more than most, but they all had moments where they almost dropped it. And then I think Kelso, realising that he's never had a podium before, never mind a race win, and it was in Australia, I think he just had a moment where he thought, you know what, perhaps getting third is a good result. So,
yeah,
the last couple of laps, he seriously dropped off the pace. No, not Siri. I said seriously, stupid phone. So he dropped off the pace to bring it home in third. For the majority of the race, Suzuki was winning the race,
as per usual.
and a few times Onchu looked like he was going to actually lose the bike and fall off, and he was a good bit back at one stage. And then it just got to the last 2 or 3 laps, and Onchu just flipped the switch and was like, I'm just going to throw everything at it. He threw everything at it. He was just throwing the bike into corners. And it was like, he's going to come off. And he never come off. He just has balls to stay. And he's completely stupid. You know what I mean? You know some of the things that Onchu does. He's just stupid.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't seem to care either. So he went for it. And then it came to the last lap and he just sailed by Suzuki. They were like, no way. He's never going to get him. He's far too far back. It's never going to work. Holy shit. He's just threw it up the inside. Won it or bin it. And it was like that right hand corner where they kind of go down the hill, and then there's like a right hand, and that was it. He just kind of let the brakes off. He's like, I'm going there. I'm goodbye Suzuki, and that was it. That's all she wrote. And I was like, poor Suzuki once again hasn't won a race.
How did David Alonso get on? Our boy Alonso.
He crashed.
Oh no.
He crashed.
Gutted.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So here is a list of everybody that crashed in Moto3. Moreira, he crashed. Ortola crashed. Farioli crashed. Munoz crashed. Achi?
Mario Aggi.
He crashed. David Alonso crashed. Salvador crashed, Asman crashed, Perez crashed.
Bloody hell.
A lot
Josh
of
Watley got
crashes.
points, didn't he? I think Josh Watley finished 15th
Josh
or
Watley
something?
finished 14th.
14th.
Great.
Danny Holgado finished 13th.
Jesus.
Bloody hell, that's not very good for Holgado, is it?
I'll tell you what, if Josh Watley finished 14th, he's usually around Anna Carrasco. If she was in that race, she might have got a point.
Shut up. I still think you should do your test anyway, Chippy, regardless.
The thing is, only 18 people finished. Antonio Rueda, well, she might have got a point if she was in that race. Let's put it this way. If there was ever a race she was going to get a point, that was probably the one.
And she was injured. Cheers, Anna. Thanks very much.
Yes.
We talked about this, Chippy, because Joel... Have you put this in confirmed rides? Are we doing confirmed rides?
No, but I did think of it a few minutes ago.
So, Joel Kelso has been confirmed. He's riding with, is it BOE Motorsport? Is that what
Yes.
it's called?
Yeah.
Bo Motorsport.
BOE Motorsport. So he is effectively replacing Anna Carrasco.
Yes.
Oh.
He's taking her space.
Hmm.
So we were
It's a good
wondering
team.
about where she's. We were wondering about where she's going to go, and we think maybe she might end up in the Women's World Superbikes.
It's got to be,
Is
innit?
that possible?
I think
gotta
I
be.
think it would be quite good if she did. Why not?
I think she'll be the main rider there.
And she'll
be
probably
kinda
win
like-
it.
Yeah, she probably will. And she'll be the one that everybody's sort of aspiring to be. She'll
Yeah.
be the big...
But if she does go to Women's World Superbikes, which I would like to see if she does, I would like
Yeah.
to see her there. Partly because I would like to watch that race actually knowing who somebody is.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd learn who everybody else is, but it's nice to have a figure there you know who it is. You know how good they are. That way, if somebody beats them or gets close to beating them or whatever, you can kind of judge and say they must be pretty good. Blah blah blah.
Well, the thing is, if she enters that and nobody beats her, then you're just going to think none of them would make it in Moto3 or above. That's what I'd be thinking.
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, but you can't think like that, though, can you?
It depends how much she wins by. If she dominates the championship, then
We don't even know if she's in it yet or not.
No. But
she's got to be.
obviously
She has got to be.
She hasn't got a ride for next year confirmed, does she?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah. She'll probably will end up there. I hope she does, because she'll do a lot better, I think.
But
Oh,
this whole
Sorry, I was
no,
just
I was
going to
going to
say...
say the whole.
I was going to say.
No, go ahead. You go
I
first.
was just going to say, just what I was thinking about,
was
Tom
gonna
Booth
say.
Amos is going to be announcing his plans very soon for next season. But that just came to my head. Carry on.
Yeah. So the Women's World Superbikes, you saying that if they can't beat Anna Carrasco, they'll be like, oh, well, they won't make it Moto3. But a lot of some of the riders that go to the Women's World Superbikes might not be aspiring to reach Moto3.
No, they might just want to be
The
in
World
that division.
The World Superbikes might be their peak. That might be where they're getting to. Like some of them might be a bit older.
Yes.
Some of them might just, whatever, not want to commit to a full 20-something race season.
I wonder how many bikes are going to be on the grid for that.
I don't know.
Don't know.
How many
I
do you
think it's only
each?
about 6 rounds.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Is
a
it,
lot.
I don't even know. Is it a World Championship or is it a Cup?
It is, I believe, a world championship because
It needs a certain amount of rounds, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure they're going to be known as a world champion. I'm sure
Right.
that was the case.
There needs to be so many rounds for that to happen, and there probably needs to be so many riders.
I've just seen on Facebook. I've got a mutual friend with Tom Booth Amos.
Oh, have you? Oh. I thought you don't like Tom Booth Amos.
He's grown on me.
Oh, it's grown on you now, is he? Oh, okay.
What changed your mind?
just recently, I actually think he's an alright kind of guy. He's a good rider as well.
Like you say, Sam, we're allowed to change our minds.
Yeah, smaller bikes he wasn't that
Yeah.
great, but bigger bikes he seems to be doing a lot better.
I think he should sort of stick to one thing though. He's stretching himself.
I'd like to see
too
him
thin.
I'd like to see him in British Superbikes next year.
Well, if he'd have concentrated on the British Super Sport this year, he would have won it. He would have smashed it. I think.
Yeah, probably.
He stretched himself far too thin this season.
I think if he can get in a half decent team in Superbikes, he could be up there.
Where though?
I reckon he'd be competing around sort of Danny Kent. If he was in a good team, say he was in the same sort of team as Danny Kent, I think he'd be sort of pushing for like fifth or sixth most races.
Do we know what the future is for Tom Booth-Amos at the moment then?
No.
Right.
He's due to announce it any time.
Okay. That'll be interesting to find out what he's actually going to do. I hope he just sticks to something though and stops this whole shipping around.
But I don't want him just to go to World Supersport and just be in a mediocre team. I want to see him pushing for a title somewhere.
Yeah, I think he'd be
I'd rather see him in British Super. Yeah, I'd rather see him in either British Supersport than World Supersport.
Well, obviously now we've seen that he's better on the bigger bike, then it probably suit him more at BSB. Because obviously he's not World Superbike level.
No, not yet. I'd like to see him on a Superbike, but a good one or half decent.
Where though? That's the thing. Where?
Who are Honda getting? So they'll have Andy Irwin. I'm trying to think who his teammate's going to be.
Well, it's Tom Neve currently, isn't it?
Yeah, but they've got to drop him, surely.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting into silly season.
It is, yeah. To be fair...
Did any of you look at the results of the Sunflower Cup in Bishop's Court?
All I
kept
know
my eye
is
on it a
Charlie
little bit.
Nesbitt did pretty well, that's all I know.
There was a lot of British Superbike riders going over there. Yeah, so Charlie Nesbitt won the actual Sunflower Trophy at the end. He beat Richard Kerr and Danny Kent.
That's good.
He won, there's an SG Jones and Son Superbike race too. He won that as well. Again, beating Richard Kerr and Danny Kent. The motorsport race, or the super sport, sorry, it was won by Tom Booth-Amos. And he beat Ewan McClinchy. And is it Samuel Laffins?
Yeah.
Fucking, I hate these websites where it keeps bringing up shit.
I know, yeah, it's annoying, isn't it?
The Super Twin race was won by a C. Dawson. I don't know what C stands for. What's C?
Cameron Dawson?
C. Dawson. Cameron Dawson, yeah. And he beat Jeremy McWilliams. He gets about old Jeremy
does,
McWilliams.
yeah.
He gets about some places.
He's like a bad fart.
Well, yeah, that's one way of describing him. But, he's a pretty good motorbike racer. So.
What a way
one.
to describe him. He's a bad fart.
Bad fart. I think a fart that lingers around's a good fart. The first Superbike race was won by Richard Kerr and Charlie Nesbitt came second. So the first Superbike race was Richard Kerr, Charlie Nesbitt, Danny Kent, is it Jason Lynn?
Not sure that one.
S. Swan, don't know what S is, Lee Jackson, Tom Booth-Amos, Scott Swan, Lee Jackson, Tom Booth-Amos, and R. Gibson. And Richard Cooper won the first Supersport race in front of Tom Booth-Amos and Dean Harrison.
Some big names there.
Yeah, Supersport race 2 was Richard Cooper, Tom Booth-Amos, Dean Harrison. But it makes you think. Sunflower Cup at Bishop's Court. Did you watch that onboard I sent of you as Bishop's Court?
I haven't watched it yet, no.
No.
I will watch it.
No, you won't. Anyway,
I will watch it.
Bishop's Court could easily hold a British Superbike round. Easily.
What, like, as it has the infrastructure to have lots of people there?
Oh yeah, it's like a massive. It's like an empty airfield. It's huge.
Right. Okay.
And it takes them. It was taking them like a minute and 20 seconds to get round. Like, that's a marathon compared to Knock Hill.
Oh, I knew you were going to say.
I knew you were going to have a dig at Knockhill.
Always have a dig at Knock
Knock
Hill.
Hill shit. 47 seconds to get round. That's not a course at all.
That's class.
That's like a little kart
It's
track.
cool.
47 seconds.
It's
It's
ace.
such a good track.
You never don't see a bike. It's great.
Yeah, you can literally stand at the top of the hill and you can see the bike from like the start finish line. You can see it probably 2/3 around the track.
Brilliant.
I know, but it's just too short. The short circuits and that's too short. It's like watching kids play.
No,
It's like watching
that
kids
corner,
run around the morning.
that corner that me and Chippy stood on for ages. That was great.
Which one was that?
That was the
the
one
first corner or
everyone
the
was
last corner?
sliding out on. The last corner.
Yes. The last corner, honestly, that hairpin is brilliant. It's the best
Catches
place to
so
watch.
many people out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I met this old boy when I was at Donington for the World Superbikes, and he actually had BSB on his number plate, so he obviously loves motorbikes. And I was talking to him about it, and obviously he heard my accent, and he was like, "Oh, did you watch the road racing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I grew up watching road racing. I love road racing." And he said he didn't like road racing because you had to wait too long for the bikes to come round.
A lot of people. Do you know
Yeah,
what?
and I
I
was
know
like,
a lot
yeah.
of people that say that.
Yeah, and I get that. I understand that. But that's one of the reasons why I really don't like Knock Hill, because they're just you don't the last guy hasn't passed you until the first guy's coming by you again. You're like, for fuck's sake, give a bit of time here, you know. Let me take a bit of breath before I start again. But then I grew up watching road racing. Like, the bikes would come flying by. You'd have like maybe a minute and a half to talk about whatever you've just seen, or just have a conversation or have a beer or whatever, and then the bikes would come round again. And I'm used to that. Now, I think some of the circuits in the British Superbikes are fine. There's a happy blend of. That's just a good length. 47 seconds is just too short, man. It's just too short.
You need to go and
But they
experience
have to go
it
there.
and experience it in the flesh. It's a lot better.
To be fair, I know a lot of the teams and the riders agree with Sam.
They hate it.
don't like it.
They hate it, and
There's
it's
not a lot
because
of, yeah.
it's so physical for them.
Yeah,
It's
there's
just-
not a lot of
even
people that like it.
If it's that short and you're turning that much, how much are you actually getting out of the bike? You're going to be constantly up and down the gears. There's never a moment where you can just
That's what I mean.
get comfortable.
There's only
There's
one
no-
bit where
there's
there's
no bike.
slightly a straight, and that's going uphill, and it drops down the other side. But it's just so physical for them.
It's such a
and
good
it's-
track.
and there's so many laps. They do so many laps per race.
And the best thing is they are never going to drop Knockhill.
No,
They will never get rid
No,
of it.
because they'll always have to go to Scotland.
Yes.
But can Scotland not have a better track than that?
No.
Scotland shit. Sorry, Scotland, but your motorcycle tracks are shit.
Scotland's class.
yeah, it's got its.
Yeah, Scotland, that's class. I like Scotland. I do like Scotland, but when it comes to their motorcycle tracks or just their motor racing tracks, whether it's car or bikes, they're shit.
Yeah, they're not great. Are they?
Their roads for road bikes are some of the best I've ridden on. So
What other roads have you ridden on, Ash? Tell me what other roads you've ridden on.
I've ridden on roads in Cyprus. I've ridden on roads
Right.
in Yorkshire. I've ridden.
Oh, Yorkshire,
yeah.
all of it's
I've ridden
better
on-
than Yorkshire.
I've ridden
It
on
must be fucking good.
roads in the UK. Sorry, should I say? I've ridden on roads in Spain. They're not so good. Well, depends where you go. If you're rural, it's all right.
Surely the mountains in Cyprus was good.
Was good, except from all the freaking potholes.
And
Oh,
do
yeah.
You think
yeah.
there must be some good riding spots in Spain?
Well, yeah, there will be, but obviously I didn't do the whole of Spain, did I?
So
I'm just saying where I was.
you're a.
Look, I've got more riding experience than both of you two fuckers put together, so I know this subject.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah,
qualified to have an
maybe you
opinion,
do.
Sam.
No, you are.
Maybe you do, but my point is, whenever you go, "Oh, Scotland's really good for riding,"
It
it's
is.
like, compared to what?
Well, I've just
Compared
said
to what?
everywhere.
never-
It's the best
Right,
place I've
oh.
ever ridden. Best roads
I
I've
rode a
ridden.
motorbike outside my hotel once in Spain. Oh, that's good. Like,
They're
what did you
the
go?
best.
Ride a bike, buy some beers.
They are the best roads I've ridden on.
Even better than Yorkshire.
Yes.
Of course you are, because Yorkshire's a fucking shithole.
Not as much of a shithole as Ireland.
Anyway, for people that live in Yorkshire, I'm only saying that to annoy Ash. I don't think that at all.
Yorkshire is beautiful.
And you've never been to Ireland. You've never been to Ireland. You've never been to any part of
No.
it. You've never been to Northern Ireland. You've never been to Southern Ireland. You've never been to Galway, Donegal, Antrim. You've never been anywhere in Ireland. So you can't... And I have been to Yorkshire, and they can't do chip butties in Yorkshire. That's all I know. You go to Yorkshire and ask for a chip butty, they don't know how to do chip
Yeah,
butty.
well, Chippy seems to think that the best fish and chips are down south, and he hasn't even tried them in Yorkshire.
You can't be
I'm
a
in a group
down
on I'm on a group on Facebook, and the guy was talking about chips from Whitby and how good they were. And I was like, oh, I've heard they're the best in the world. And he was quite honest. He says, well, I've not had chips anywhere else, really, apart from the UK, but I can tell you they're very good. And I was like, well, that's an honest answer.
They are the best.
That's what the
Whitby's
answer
best.
should be. Not, best in the world. Scotland's got the best roads in the world, even though I've only ridden like 3
hold
countries.
on. I didn't say the best, the best roads in the world. I said they're some of the best roads that I've ridden.
Oh, no, they're some of the best, not the best.
Well, they are the best that I've ridden, yeah.
No, they are the best again.
Should we move on to silly season?
Sam's just been a pedantic prick as usual.
Right, let's move on to silly season. I have a lot of editing to do.
Fucking do, yeah.
I'm just going to send it out. Get fucked.
So, you two touched on last week Miguel Oliveira to replace Marc Marquez. And Oliveira confirmed he had been approached. Now, I'm just going to add this in. Apparently, Honda aren't interested in Dijan Antonio. And it looks like Oliveira is the favourite. And apparently he's rumoured to be keen on it as well. But can you see Dijan Antonio going to Aprilia?
No.
Because
I think Dijan Antonio. I think Dijan Antonio will go wherever Dijan Antonio can go.
Yes.
So if Oliveira goes to Honda, he'll go to Aprilia.
Because
That's
Aprilia
what I
aren't going to... They're not going to want to take a punt on a mediocre Moto2 rider. They're going to want somebody with MotoGP experience. And there isn't a lot left that are unsigned.
Well, who is there?
I don't know. Is it Lecuona, maybe?
Paul Espargaro.
Paul Espargaro?
But hold on, is Aprilia not... He's already on an Aprilia, is he not? No, he's in a KTM. Where is he?
What? Did you?
No, Paul
Oliveira?
Espargaro. Paul Espargaro.
Oh, no, he's KTM. Well, the gas.
Yeah, Gas KTM. So he... This is the thing. I mentioned this last week, you probably heard it. There's a lot of people on social media and a lot of journalists who are thinking that Paul Espargaro's been hard done by because he's been moved out of the way for
He's had his chance.
Pedro Acosta. But has Paul Espargaro not come out and said that he himself sees himself in MotoGP one more year and then he'd like to be a test rider?
Yeah,
But
I
if
heard
he's
something
saying
about
that, if he's saying, well, you reported it, you told us.
Actually, no, I thought that was Aleix Espargaro. I think
thought it was
said
Paul
that.
I thought
Espargaro.
you said Paul
No, I think it was
Espargaro.
Aleix. No, I'm pretty sure it was Aleix.
I think you said it was.
I'm pretty sure it was Aleix.
And
Oh.
Anyway,
95%
it's-
sure it was Aleix.
that's not 100%. So let's just say it's an Espargaro.
It was Aleix.
Anyway,
Who would you rather go for? If you were Aprilia and you had Paul Espargaro and Dijan Antonio, who would you rather have in your team?
Dijan Antonio.
I don't know.
Paul Espargaro, he's not good enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's he ever done?
Yeah, but what's Digi ever done?
He's
Well,
done a hell of a
he's-
lot more than that stuff.
He's starting to show promise, Digi.
Yeah,
He's
but
showing more promise now than Paul Espargaro's ever shown.
I don't know.
And Paul Espargaro's
Chippy,
had
you
some
change your-
decent rides.
Chippy, you change your mind more than you change your socks. Half an hour ago, you were saying Dijan Antonio was shit.
Yeah, he is, but compared to Paul Espargaro, he's like Marc Marquez.
Now he's starting to show promise.
I was going to say.
I would rather
I
have
think-
Digi than Paul.
I would rather have DJ Antonio because he's younger. He's just got there. I know he's had 2 years nearly, but he's just got there. Yeah, I think Paul Espargaro's in his twilight years, really,
Yes.
when it comes to racing.
He's had his chance. He hasn't taken it.
So you think Miguel Oliveira will leave Aprilia to go to Honda?
Yeah, I do. I think he will. I think he's stupid if he does, but I think he will.
I think he's stupid if he does as well.
He's not going to win anything on the Aprilia, though.
Yeah, but he's not going to win anything on the Honda either.
No, but he'll be the top rider. He'll be the guy.
Like, this is what I mean. Did we not have a little discussion about this last week? Basically saying
Probably.
it's probably a good move for him money-wise. He'll be getting more dollar
But
in
the
the
thing
factory
is,
team.
If Honda build a decent bike and he's...
Oh yeah. We did discuss this. Yeah, you said obviously if they develop the Honda enough, then
I'm not sure if you've noticed, Ash, but we kind of reiterate everything every week in, week out. We just regurgitate the same podcast every week, and then we wonder why nobody listens.
I was going to say. Yeah, I think he should stay at the Aprilia.
No, I don't know. I forget what I said last week, but if I'm disagreeing with myself this time, I don't care. I think he should go to Honda because I don't think he's going to do anything at Aprilia.
I just think Aprilia at the moment is a better bike.
Yeah, I think that too, but
I think
go to
Honda are way off becoming.
I think Honda could sort it though, and also they're making changes at like manager level and stuff.
Of course they can change it. I think
they can
Honda.
fix it.
They're going to have to change it.
They are going to make changes, but they were going to make them changes for Marc Marquez. Will they make them changes now he's left?
Thing
Will
is,
they make
Honda,
them changes for
at some point, Honda is going to become really good again, and it's just about being the rider on that bike at the right time. Somebody's got to be.
No, they need a good test rider for a start, and well, they have already talked about maybe making concessions for them.
Yamaha as well, aren't they? Well, we shall see.
Any other silly season?
I think that's it. That's all I've got.
To be honest, it's getting to that stage of the year.
We already know where everyone's going.
It's getting to that stage of the year. We already know where everybody's going. I am looking forward to next year.
I am as well.
What are you looking forward to most next year?
BSB.
Is it Marc Marquez on the Ducati? Is it Johnny Ray on a Yamaha? Top Rack in a BMW?
Do you know what? That'll be interesting because I think he'll be shit on it.
Morbidelli on a Ducati?
This is more of a sort of next season, pre-season episode thing that we need to go into.
We'll keep all that then.
We'll
keep
keep
it for the end of the year. That's what I was doing.
Should we move into our predictions then?
Shall we?
Shall we?
Shall we?
Shall we? So the what is the?
It's Thailand this week
Thailand
for MotoGP.
It is. It's Thailand.
Thai land for people that obviously can't see it. I was pretending to tie a tie. Right. I was the last to make my predictions.
Yeah,
but I still stand by who I've predicted. Except for the main race because Chippy stole mine. Right. For the sprint race, I have gone for Marco Bezzecchi.
It's a good shout.
It's a good shout. I have gone for
a good shout.
Brad Binder.
He's gone off the boil a lot.
He has.
Second half of the season, the KTM's haven't been that good.
Well, you both picked Jack Miller last week. Both of you picked Jack Miller.
Yes,
and
I know.
oh, he's gone off the boil. As if Jack Miller was ever boiling.
Anyway.
Anyway,
I've
gone with Jorge Martin.
Oh, that's a good shout.
Right.
Yeah.
That's for
It's
the
a
sprint
safe
race.
shout.
It is for the
Yes.
sprint, yeah.
Right, the MotoGP feature race. I'll go again. Don't care. I have gone for Jorge Martin.
If he chooses the right tyre.
If he chooses the right tyre.
I've gone with Pecco Bagnaia.
Both very safe guesses. I've gone with Johan Zarco.
I think that's a very, very bold.
He went well
prediction.
round there last year. I think he finished second last year.
I'm not sure because we've heard it so many times that once a rider wins one race. Because how many times has Johan Zarco been close to winning a race and he's maybe just tensed up and it's in his head too much? Now he's won it. He's got that duck off his back. The pressure's gone. He's not going to win a championship ever. He could go out next week and just ride like, you know what, if I win, I win, if I don't, I don't. And it could just, he might just go out and be a completely different rider next week.
I think it's a bold choice, but I don't think he'll be winning.
Shut up, Ash. He's going to win.
He finished second last year.
Right, for Moto 2, who have you gone for, Ash?
I've gone with Pedro Acosta.
Boring.
Well, come on then, what's yours?
Songkyak Chantra.
Oh, that's
'Cause
not
he's
boring
Thai.
because he's from Thailand.
Well, it's not boring. No.
I have took a risk.
You've took
Did
it.
you say that knocking?
No, why would I hear Norton?
Anyway,
For the record, Chippy's just about to get murdered.
I am absolutely petrified. I have just heard somebody go,
you got a ghost in your
I
new
swear to
house.
God.
You've got a ghost in your new house.
Is your wife in the house? Maybe walking around? Right, anyway.
I am genuinely petrified.
Right, we don't care. So I've been quite ballsy and I've gone for Aaron Cannon.
That is a very, very big, bold statement. Again.
Right, who have you picked first for Moto 3, Chippy?
I've gone with David Alonso.
I have gone with Masia.
Yeah.
Look at him trying to see what the knock
I'm
are.
so sorry. I'm
And,
staring out the window.
I have gone with Suzuki because I haven't chosen for a while and he needs to win one. Come on. Yes.
He doesn't need to win
He
one,
does,
but
for me.
Yes.
And then we lead
World
into World
Superbikes.
Superbikes, yeah.
Which is in Spain again.
I'm surprised
Always
Chippy
in
didn't
Spain.
pick Bautista for all of them.
I was going to, but I thought that was been a bit too obvious.
For my race one, I've gone for Ronaldo.
Yeah, he's been alright recently, actually, in the last few races.
Ever since he found out Ducati was getting rid of
Yeah.
him, he's been like, right, fuck you then.
Same with Digi.
I've gone with Johnny
That's the best way
Ray.
to get.
Johnny Ray.
I've gone with Top Rack
Top
because I thought it's going to make the championship a little bit exciting. And then for race 2, I've gone with Bautista just to kill that excitement and win the championship.
But Bautista needs like, what, 3 points or something? 8 points
Yeah.
or something stupid.
Yes.
There's no excitement in it. He's going to win.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sam,
I know.
who have you gone for race 2?
Johnny Ray.
Yep, and I've gone with Top Rack, which is just standard. And
For race 3, I have gone with Petrucci.
yeah,
I'm just trying to keep it.
he's been very,
Like I
he's
say, I
been
was
very,
last to
he's
make
been very good
predictions.
though as Petrucci.
He's been on and off this season, to be honest.
Towards the back end, he's been all right though. I've gone with Top Rack again.
I've gone with Bautista again.
Yeah, safe bets, isn't they?
Yes.
Safe bets. Right then,
Is that it?
I think that's it, isn't it?
That's it. We're reaching the 2-hour point. Obviously, it'll be edited down. It'll be a bit shorter than that. But if you have made it to this point in the show, then Jesus Christ, you've done well.
And if you see something in the papers about some nerdy guy getting murdered because of 4 knocks on his table, it's probably Chippy. No, it's not really.
Oh,
If that happens now, I am not involved. That was just yeah.
As we mentioned before, if you want to get in contact with us, folks, you can send us an email at podcast@bigbadbs.co.uk. If you go to our YouTube channel, it's the Big Bad Bike Show. The Up North biker Ash Haw has recently posted a video on there. Worth a watch. We've got Twitter, which is at the Big Bad BS. We are at about 350 posts now, so we post quite often. We're on Facebook, the Big Bad Bike Show. We also have a Facebook group called the Big Bad BS. Go on there. You may find out the results to motorbike races, because that's kind of what it's there for, so don't be shocked if that happens, Ash. If you want to go onto Twitter, you can find my Twitter. I am at the Big Bad Biker, or you can find Chippy on Twitter, which is at MotoChippy. Or if you want to go to Instagram, you can find Ash on Instagram. It's the up north biker.
Yeah.
We do have a Big Bad Bike Show Instagram as well. But Ash
I knew this was going to come up.
I went to all that effort to make a new one because he was whinging and he hasn't even used it.
No, you two were whinging about what I was posting.
Have you even logged into it yet?
No, for bollocks. No. You two were whinging about the spelling, whinging about what I was saying, the fact that I was putting it up as a reel rather than a post, even though a reel is a post and a reel at the same time. It does both of them at the same time. So you're basically spreading it twice.
No, the reason I got annoyed about the reel was because all the links that I put on the original post, you took a picture of it and made it a reel. So all them links that I put on there, you couldn't click on the links. So what was the point of the links? You know, the links I put on there, you couldn't click on them and then take you to said page. Like, oh, here's the link for YouTube. Click on this and it'll take you to the YouTube page.
You need to put them links in the description.
Yeah. So what you needed to do was put the links in the description. What you did was you just took a picture of my post and put it on Facebook or put it on Instagram as a reel.
You know what you're doing.
You didn't do any other work.
So just do that.
I'll just take a picture of this.
You're so lazy.
Forget about the links. Even though the links are on our doc. If you go onto the doc, you can find the links there.
I've got them actually saved on my laptop and my phone.
Oh, why didn't you put them on then?
I don't know, because you know what you're doing.
Anyway, I think I can go onto the Big Bad Bike Show Instagram page. I just don't use it. You know why? Because I'm doing Twitter, I'm doing Facebook, I'm doing my own Facebook, I'm doing my own Instagram, I'm doing my own Twitter. I'm trying to do all that as well. And even when I do put stuff on Facebook, it's like, wah, you told me the result of a race. Well, we're a motorbike fucking show, so that's kind of what happens.
Heads up would have been nice, dickhead.
Well, here's the heads up. We're a motorbike podcast, and it's a motorbike Facebook page, so you're likely to see that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but
there's a heads up.
It just happens.
I know what I'll do. I'll get up every morning and I'll send you a message. Okay, Ash, how many spoonfuls of common sense do I have to feed you today? Oh, is that how many? Here, open wide. Yum 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 yum. Jesus.
Just don't.
Every time I go and do something, I'll have to message.
I will not go on the Big Bad Bike Show group because I know you're going to put the results on, which you've never done before in the past.
And I might not do it again.
Yeah, you might not
because
it cocked it all up.
Might not.
It's better not to.
Because it was Johan Zarco.
Yeah, great. I would have loved to have seen that, but no, it got spoilt for me.
So would I, Ash. So would I.
Yeah, I ain't apologising again because suck my dick.
Right. We are going to be arguing with this week on
yes,
week out. We are. This one's going to run for a while, folks. But as for now, I guess we've nothing else to do but to say goodbye. Chippy, do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
We don't know if Chippy will be here next week or not. Jury's out on that.
Depends what day we're recording.
Might just not turn up. We're recording Monday. Bust. That's it. Recording Monday.
Let me just work it out. So,
Ash, do you want to say goodbye? Fuck Chippy.
Yeah, see you later. All the best.
And it's a goodbye from me. Goodbye.
I can do Monday or Tuesday.